Breaking, yes, it don't bust for this area as a Biafra independence protests has gone international once more. Yes, my people, normally it don't go international. Yes, everybody knows about it, but once again, it has broken the bar on the international level. Yes, we'll be going directly into the details of this news. Don't forget, we are your one and only Exposed News TV. Yes, these are the details. Also, in response to escalating violence in the Biafra land, yes, in southeastern, he said the protests has erupted across major European cities with thousands of members of the Biafran diaspora demanding international intervention in the ongoing conflict. Yes, we have there have been noticed that there have been demonstrations in London, Berlin, Paris, and Brussels, with the independent people calling for the independent Biafra and condemning the zoo government for its handling of the crisis. Yes, we'll be talking about these specific places, make you go know, make you understand, say everything where they actually happen is something that is meant to be and not a joke. Okay, he says in London, Trafalgar Square, as one way or another, protesters and people that are Biafrans have come across and come around waving Biafran flags. They've held banners and said, "Free Biafra now and end the Nigerian occupation." Similar things were reported in other cities where members of the Biafran community and their allies chanted slogans and called for foreign governments and the United Nations to intervene, which PM Ekpa has been on the sidelines, have been in the apex too, making sure I'm poking around, making sure that these people come to a full-time understanding that there is no going back on this particular movement. The process comes on the heels of the Biafra Liberation Armies and the BNL's movement moving and stopping across the violence that has been taking place in the Biafra land. As zoo forces are in disarray, the diaspora believes that the time has come for the international community to step in full time. I believe they have stepped in some time ago and they have made a few comments, but now they are expected to make heavy comments, heavy comeback, and make effective, what do you call it? Effective impact in this particular time at this moment, because this time is the right time. Okay, he says here that we cannot sit idly while our brothers and sisters are being killed from one Ngozi. We there are said that stays in London. He said the world must recognize Biafra's right to self-determination and self-referendum and force the zoo government to stop its violence. International human rights groups have also raised concerns about the growing humanitarian crisis in the region, with tens of thousands displaced by the conflict and the zoo government's military response. As you all know that these people seek to do complete a genocide in the Biafra land, in the southeast region, and it is not something that is even being hidden on any ground. But then it is not what we'll be looking at whenever we decide to do the necessary things that we need to do. That is just the truth of the matter. We are going to succeed. We are going to make sure we do everything in our power to make everything work out. The United Nations has called for a ceasefire and a peaceful resolution, but thus far diplomatic efforts have failed to gain traction. As the conflict in Zoo intensifies, the Biafra's global presence is making waves on the international stage, putting additional pressure on both the Nigerian government and the foreign powers to address the situation before it spirals further out of control. Na so. Okay, my people, na so we go dey give am straight to una back to back. Take notes. That is what we are here for. On another note, it is always good to have it in mind that we are not slacking back on another level. The next thing you will be hearing would be things that concern the Biafra movement, coming from the PM Simon Ekpa. Listen and enjoy. Thank you.
Kanu, who claimed to be the number 5 or number 6 citizen of Nigeria. You must pay attention to this. I know all of you will be panicking this evening because you thought that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa will be ashamed because of the shenanigan that is going on within those that are supposed to spearhead everything that we should be doing moving forward, even though the Prime Minister is incarcerated. I want to let you know that this very struggle will continue until we get to the final conclusion. Number one, the matter of releasing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not an act of mercy, pardon, executive clemency, or even amnesty. Very, very clear. Instead, it should be an act of simply complying with the subsisting Federal High Court judgment that declared his detention as unconstitutional, or even the extant international tribunal decisions that separately declared his detention as unlawful. Alternatively, the decision to free him from detention and discontinue his infamous prosecution can be made by simply resorting to the constitutional provisions that empower the Attorney General of the Federation on the directives of the President to discontinue any prosecution. Number two, Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is adamant that nobody should plead or beg anybody on his behalf because he has committed no crime. Self-determination, which is the real issue that got twisted to suddenly become a high crime, is an inalienable right guaranteed under the laws of Nigeria, the United Nations, the United Kingdom, and Kenya. These 4 entities are the entities that are involved both in the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, his extraordinary rendition, and of course his unlawful detention or incarceration. Nigeria did the act. United Nations gave advice to the zoo for his release, which has not, been taken, or which has taken for granted. And then the United Kingdom is the masterminder that pulled the deal with Kenya and the Zoological Republic. Now, thus the perverse and unlawful criminalization of his exercise of this right should not unwittingly be encouraged through some misguided appeals for pardon, clemency, or mercy. Thus, releasing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not an act of mercy or pardon, but an act of abiding by the rule of law. Number 3, inasmuch as those calling for his release are sincere, remember I told you many years ago that the only person, as in one person among all the thousands of people who are calling for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I told, including those in the DOS, I told you that the only one person who was genuinely calling for his release without anything attached was the late Mbazulika Amechi, to his blessed memory. I told you, and that stands still today. Now, their calls for pardon or clemency may be misconstrued as a green light to the executive branch or even the courts to violate the rule of law by continuing to subject Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to a prosecution or trial that does not comport with the tenets of the Constitution and Nigeria's treaty obligations. And also recall that the Prime Minister Mazi Samanekpa also issued a statement ordering these, so-called political elites within the Biafra territory serving the zoo to desist from their calls or meeting the so-called president of the zoo for the pardoning or so-called releasing of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And that very message got to them, hit them so hard that they all desist. They stopped making such statement until these recent times. Now, number 4 says, instead of begging, those desiring his release should emulate the language and tact used by Afenifere, Ohaneze, World Igbo Congress, WIC, ranking members of the National Assembly, American military veterans of Igbo descent, ambassadors for self-determination based in America, the international community, and a host of others who have made it clear that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu deserves to be released because he has committed no offense known to law. If truth be told, it is Nigeria's executive branch which extraordinarily renditioned Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that should show contrition for resorting to extraordinary rendition, which is a state crime under the international law and the common law. If any begging must be done, it should be directed to the courts to conduct his cases and that of IPOB with the utmost impartiality and adherence to rule of law, equity, and good conscience. Ndị gụrụ akwụkwọ na-ekwu okwu a na-ege ntị. Number 5, most importantly, onye ndu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu sincerely thanks everyone working assiduously towards the restoration of security, tranquility, and good order in his beloved Igbo land. That number 4 make very, very good sense. Onye ndu sincerely thanks everybody working assiduously towards the restoration of security, tranquility, and good order in his beloved Igbo land. Now, if you go further, you see the pictures attached here. You see this one is the one, the idiot that called himself the number 5, number 6 citizen of the zoo, Benjamin Kalo. And this one, I don't even remember who is this. These are the people who will come to channels television, TVC, telling you how they want Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be pardoned and released. But they will never, ever talk to Tinubu or remind Tinubu of the crime that the government of the zoo has committed against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They will never say it. They will never ever speak about the inhuman treatment being melted on Biafran people and the buying of Biafrans by the zoo agents in Biafra territory. In the land where they come from, these individuals can never ever speak about the buying of their own flesh and blood in their own land. Innocent Biafrans, innocent Igbos who have been dehumanized and buried in our own land. These individuals can never ever speak about it. But every time they tell you how they are number 1 and number 5 citizen of the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria, this is who they are. I want to let them know that Akufelusia oyadalawo. Akufegide fesia odarawo. Onwe femelo no wa kakuare darawo. If also you people can celebrate as much as you can at this very point in time, you can go you can go to Dubai for holiday. You can go to United Kingdom, go to London to flex because Mazi Simon Ekpa is in the custody of the of Finland. I want you to know, Naku Fellowsia Oyadarawo. Now, having said this, and of course, having shown you the statement of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu through his attorney, I want us to see what has transpired, what has happened today. We are going to begin with this.
This is the laws of Nigeria. The prosecution, and this court doesn't know the law. That is the fact.
Yes.
Poor knowledge of the law is killing Nigeria. Poor knowledge of the law, they don't know the law. This is a federal gazetted law of Nigeria that says here that the chief judge of Nigeria cannot tell Binta Nyeko what to do. It's here. It's your law. Just obey it. That is why I do what I do. I agitate for Biafra. I agitate for Biafra. My right to agitate. My right.
Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the Ohamadike Ndibo, and Biafra Nine said it is his right to agitate for Biafra. It is within his right, his inalienable right to fight for freedom. So who am I? This is the question every Biafran should be asking him or herself this evening. Who are you? If Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, in the custody of the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria, could tell you in their own court that it is within his right to fight for his freedom, who are you? Who am I? Who am I? He is in the custody of the zoo. And he's telling you that it is his right. He's not backing down. This man has given everybody the kind of hope. No, there's no any other hope you need, if not what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is doing and what he has done today. I don't think you need more hope. He is in their custody. He is not being broken down. He is not broken. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not broken. I still have more videos to show you. He is not broken. Some people thought that by now, we call it many people thought that by now, it's because it has been a long time he's been incarcerated in the custody of DSS, a terrorist organization in Abuja. Many people thought that by now, when he is brought to court, by now you have for this sinani. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is telling you that it is his right to fight for freedom. It is his right. Therefore, ask yourself, Biafrans, who are you that you cannot fight for your freedom? Now, let's continue.
They turned it from reasonable felony now to terrorism. Stop talking when I'm talking.
Now, let us go to the next video. And Biafrans, anybody who is commenting in the comment section, saying something inappropriate, or saying anything against me, my own person, don't worry about that person. Don't even respond to that person. Many of them are disappointed. Many of them are the zoo agents who are disappointed. They will come here thinking that they are going to distract us. Don't respond to any inappropriate comment. Don't respond to any attack on my person. They do not exist. They do not exist. When I was fighting against the impunity of the DOS. A lot of people attacked me. So there is no any kind of attack that will shake me today. Many people attacked me, even some of the Biafrans who attacked me then because they were ignorant and blind with the reality. Many of them, after some months and years, they turned back and started supporting the same Biafra Unite that they attacked when we started this very fight against the impunity and criminality of the DOS. So ignore them. I am not shaken. I am not moved. I have been in this journey for very many years. I am not moved. But it's going to be a shame to any Biafran if you are not a government agent who come here to distract us. If you are a real Biafran, and you are here to talk nonsense, shame on you. Woe be unto you, for you do not know what you are doing. Let's continue. Don't mind in the Umokoko. We don't have time.
An old man like this doesn't know the law. You don't know the law. I'll give the petition. I have petition against her. Nonsense. Nonsense. Why is it when it comes to my case, they turn the law upside down? They turn the law upside down. Upside down. Upside down. The rule. Who are not educated. I am an educated man. I can't show them the petition for the simple reason that if you show it,
what the judge said was that the case file.
Listen, this is the laws of Nigeria. The prosecution, and this court doesn't know the law. That is the fact.
Yes. The prosecution and this court, they do not know the law. That is the fact. We have many videos to play today. I want every one of us to pay very, very good attention because we are going to learn a lot this evening.
Poor knowledge of the law is killing Nigeria.
Yes.
Poor knowledge of the law, they don't know the law. This is a federal gazetted law of Nigeria that says here that the chief judge of Nigeria cannot tell Binta Nyako what to do. It's here. It's your law. Just obey it. That is why I do what I do. I agitate for Biafra. I agitate for Biafra by right to agitate. My right. They turned it from treasonable felony now to terrorism.
All right. I want us to see the video when the case was going on. Now, I want you to pay attention and see how Mazi Nnamdi Kanu shamed the enemies. I want you to see how Mazi Nnamdi Kanu shamed the enemies in their own court today. I took my time and watched these videos, and I told myself that, this man, anybody who is not following this man, I don't know what to tell you or what to say to you. You are missing a lot. I'm telling you.
He did me something in my case. I accused him. He was almost official. I asked him to accuse himself. Why did the chief judge not insist I was right? He left my case.
If anybody is not happy,
this is during the hearing. Binta Nyako herself was there. Awomolo was there. The prosecution counsel, they were all there. And of course, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's counsel were all there. So, I will remind you something later on. I will refresh your mind because after this very video, there's another video which I'm going to play. And then I will bring your memory back. I will show you something that will, make you recall what is going on today, what is happening today in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It is a should I call it prophecy or a prediction? Let us continue.
No, I cannot. Because I have a thought order. I have a thought order. You have released yourself. I have a thought order. Anybody who disagrees with this order of God, go to appeal court. That's what you tell me all the time. You have come to sufficient. You cannot preside over this case number again. Not in this life. You cannot. Not.
Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was looking at Binta Nyako eyeball to eyeball, telling her that you cannot preside over this case again. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. And that is his own right. Let's continue.
Now, not tomorrow, not ever. A woman here cannot force these courts to preside on my case. You cannot. Not today, not till forever. You are recused and you stand recused.
You are recused and you stand recused. You cannot force yourself to preside over my case, which I have said I do not have confidence in you, and you have been recused from my case and you stand recused. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu rose like a lion. And who is Binta Nyako not to pay attention or listen? You cannot force yourself into my case. It is within my constitutional right and inalienable right as a person to decide to say that I do not want you to stand and try me because you are corrupt. Even the CAJ or whatever they call him, the Chief Justice of the Zoo, has no right to force Binta Nyako to stand and try Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It is not possible because the Constitution of the Zoo gave him the right already.
Tell the chief judge, Nnamdi Kanu said, go on appeal. I recuse him from my case. The state recused Justice Adema from my case. I did not insist Adema must hear my case. I never insisted. So why must you insist to hear my case? I don't want you in my case. I don't need you in my case. You are biased. You are biased.
You are fired. Oh, Guinea. You are fired. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is telling Binta Nyako, you are fired. This is the man that we are all following. This is the man that we heard his voice and we stay awoke. The man we heard his voice and stayed awoke. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the zoo court, looking at the judge eyeball to eyeball and say, you are fired. He doesn't care whether they want to jail him forever. He doesn't care whether the DSS would hit him with, Isiegbe. He doesn't care because he knows that it is his inalienable right all over the world to agitate and fight for the freedom of his people. And the whole world is watching what is going on. The whole world is seeing everything. Today's case is all over the world. Everybody is aware of what happened in the court in Abuja today in the Zoological Republic. The whole world is aware. All the world leaders are aware. But guess what? It is our right to fight for him, not Donald Trump. After all, the United Nations Security Council has made a statement asking the zoo government to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Guess what? The Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom government did not even make any official statement responding to that very United Nations Security Council statement. Till today, they didn't react to it. And they are still holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I have a very important video after this one. Let us continue.
Cannot be my case. A woman should do the right thing. A chairman of the board of directors constitutes of his propriety. Nowhere in the world such nonsense law. You cannot be hobnobbing with lawyers, hobnobbing with justices, and you're proceeding a case. It's and I will not subject myself to it. You stand, you choose, and you must take my case. You cannot buy me. This man is not paying attention. There is an order of recusal, and he's a senior advocate, for goodness sake. There's an order of recusal. Is that not the rule of law? The law says if you disagree with this, you go and appeal. You are a grown-up man. Because of 300 million, you're behaving like a child.
A grown-up man, the Awomolo man, the very useless and idiotic man that called himself a son, Awomolo, who is the prosecution counsel, a very old man. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told him, this is not propaganda now. This is not a word that is spoken behind you. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, because of 100 million that was given to you, you are behaving like a child. Eyeball to eyeball. That is the reason why we follow him. That's why we call him a Hamadike. And with this, you don't need to be told that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can never, ever give up Biafra. That's why when he said Biafra or death, he mean it. Let's continue.
Go on appeal because of money. Because of money they're paying you from ATM surface, you are here standing and smoking evil. Because of money. A grown-up man like you say you are to behave like a man of honor. The rule of law says you go on appeal. His lordship Binta Yebe will not try my case. Not on this planet Earth. I'm telling you that now. So stop wasting your time.
Look at as I said, the view of the past that the defendant has indicated that he will not make a formal application